In the small village of Umuokoro, where the mornings began with cockcrows and the evenings cooled with gossip at the village square, one name rang louder: Amanda. If you walked through the dusty red parts of Umuokoro on any given day, someone, somewhere, would be talking about her. Oh, Amanda don't fight again. Oh, that girl no dey fear anybody. She be troublemaker, abeg. Person we resemble man. Amanda's reputation was the closest thing to a legend the village had. Mothers warned their children to stay out of her way, fathers shook their heads when her name came up, and boys avoided provoking her, for fear she'd beat them in front of everyone and bruise their pride beyond repair. She fought boys, men, women, elders, market people, everyone except herself. But the villagers only saw the part of her story that was loud, bold, and violent. They did not know the part that cried at night. They did not know that beneath the tough exterior was a girl who learned to fight before she even learned to spell her name, a girl who believed that fists were the only language the world respected. Because when Amanda was only 5 years old, she watched her father turn her mother into a punching bag. Her father's voice, loud and thunderous, frequently shook the thin mud walls of their house. Her mother's sobs, soft and helpless, pierced Amanda's tiny heart. And the more she saw her mother cower, beg, cry, and hide bruises under wrappers, the angrier Amanda became. By age 7, she had already made a vow: never again would she allow anyone to treat her the way her father treated her mother. Never again would she be small, weak, intimidated. So she grew into force. She trained her voice to be loud. She trained her fist to be ready. She trained her heart to be hardened. And soon, the village learned that Amanda was not one to be pushed around. When a boy mocked her for carrying water, like a small girl, she floored him with one punch. When a market woman accused her mother of stealing, Amanda fought boldly until the woman apologized publicly. When a man tried to forcefully grab her mother's harvest, Amanda picked a stick and chased him around the village square. The village, shocked and helpless, decided it was easier to call her trouble than to understand her anger. And Amanda accepted the title. After all, it was better to be feared than to be beaten. That was the only truth life had taught her. Amanda grew into a young woman with wide shoulders, sturdy legs, and a fierce gaze that made even grown men step aside for her. She worked at her small food shack, Mama Manda Kitchen, located at the edge of the village, near the dusty road that led to the city. The shack was always full, not because her customers liked her, but because her food was undeniably good. Her jollof rice carried a smoky aroma, her okra soup was thick and rich, and her palm wine was always chilled in the clay pot behind the shop. People loved her food but feared her mouth. 2 plates of rice and chicken, a traveler would say. You get money to pay? Amanda would glare. Yes, ma. Better. I know they cook charity food. Everyone knew Amanda had only one emotional temperature, boiling. But beneath her fiery temper was a surprising softness. She took care of her mother, now widowed after her father drank himself to death. She paid school fees for her younger cousins. She even secretly gave food to beggars at night so no one would see her being soft. She wasn't all thorns, she simply didn't know how to be anything else. Far away from Umuokoro, in Vineyard City, lived a young man whose world could not be more different from Amanda's. His name was Daniel Okafor. Handsome, tall, wealthy, the type of man magazines love to call Nigeria's eligible golden bachelor. Daniel was a billionaire not by inheritance but by brilliance. He bought old houses, renovated them, and sold them for triple the price. He had a team of architects, builders, lawyers, and agents who worked tirelessly to maintain his empire. He lived in a mansion with polished floors, towering chandeliers, and a garden cared for by 4 gardeners. And above everything, Daniel had a mother, Mrs. Clara Okafor, overprotective, elegant, and deeply attached to her only child. She raised him alone after losing her husband early, and Daniel was the center of her world. But wealth and comfort had side effects. Daniel often felt suffocated by it. He wanted to understand life outside gated walls. He wanted to see real people, real struggles, real stories. So one morning, without his driver, without informing his mother or his friends, Daniel left to inspect a property in the outskirts, a rural area he had never visited before. He wanted to blend in, as he jokingly told himself. So he wore simple jeans, a t-shirt, and slippers. He walked through the dusty roads asking questions about some lands he wanted to buy. But he did not know that in rough neighborhoods, some people watched newcomers closely, especially fancy-looking ones. A tout, lurking in the shadows, snatched Daniel's wallet and phone as he bent to tie his shoelaces. Daniel never noticed. He kept walking, unaware that trouble was waiting for him at the next corner. Hunger crept into Daniel's stomach as the sun rose high. Sweaty, tired, and confused, he followed the scent of food until he arrived at a small wooden restaurant with a painted sign. Mama Manda Kitchen, if you no get money no enter. He chuckled. Interesting. He pushed the door open and stepped inside. Amanda looked up from stirring a pot of soup, her expression immediately scanning him from head to toe. A stranger. Soft-looking. Neat. Clean nails. Definitely from the city. What you want? She asked bluntly. Oh, food, Daniel smiled politely. Anything you have. Amanda narrowed her eyes. Anything where I have. You get money. Of course, he laughed lightly. She didn't believe him, but she served him anyway. Daniel ate like someone who hadn't tasted food in weeks. This is delicious, he said with genuine admiration. You're very good at this. Amanda didn't reply. Compliments made her uncomfortable. When he finished, he reached into his pocket. His smile slowly disappeared. He checked the other pocket. Then his back pocket. Then the side of his jeans. His face paled. He checked again. And again. Amanda folded her arms, watching him. Where your money? She asked suspiciously. I don't understand. I had my wallet. And so now like this the scam day start. Her voice rose sharply. First you go form gentleman, eat food finish, then you go talk say your wallet lost. My brother, no try am here. Pay my money. I swear I had it, maybe it fell, or... Oh. You dey whine me, she barked, stepping forward. So you worker enter my shop with empty pocket. You think say I be mumu? No. I'm telling the truth. One more attempt to explain and pop. Her face connected with the side of his face so fast Daniel didn't even see it coming. He fell to the ground. The entire shop went silent. People gasped. Someone shouted, Amanda don't kill person oh. Another ran outside to call help. Villagers rushed in, dragging Amanda back. Daniel lay still, unconscious. Tufiokwa. Amanda, you no go kill us for this village. You don't beat big man wey be stranger. Amanda's chest heaved as she tried to defend herself, but guilt crept into her stomach for the first time in a long time. She hadn't meant to knock him out that hard. They carried Daniel to the nearest health center. Hours later, when he woke up, he couldn't remember anything, not his name, not where he came from, not even what he was doing in the village. The only thing he remembered was the face of the girl who hit him. When the villagers brought him back to the village square, the elders made a decision. Since Amanda caused the problem, she must fix it. Daniel, unable to speak clearly, pointed at her and said softly, She takes care of me. A murmur swept through the crowd. Amanda's eyes bulged. Me? Take care of who? For what? The elders glared at her. For beating stranger till he lose memory, no you go house him until he get sense back. Yes, the village head declared. He will stay in your care. You will feed him, help him recover, and watch over him. It will teach you to control your temper. And that was how Amanda, Umuokoro's fiercest troublemaker, ended up with a helpless, memory-loss stranger living in her house. A stranger she had knocked unconscious. A stranger she did not trust. A stranger whose life she had accidentally changed. Daniel moved into Amanda's home, a small two-room clay house at the end of the village. Amanda hated the idea, but she dared not protest publicly. She cooked for him. She watched him. She insulted him occasionally. She scolded him regularly. But slowly, something began to change. Daniel, despite losing his memory, still behaved like someone raised in comfort. He pronounced words differently, he didn't know how to fetch water, he held spoons awkwardly, he washed plates like they were fragile glass even though they were just plastic. Amanda would laugh at him. "You be Ajabota die," she teased one afternoon as he tried to grind pepper with a stone. Daniel blinked innocently. "Ajabota. Is that an insult?" She burst into laughter again. Days turned into weeks. Weeks melted into months. Daniel began helping her at the restaurant, arranging plates, taking orders, serving customers. People who once feared Amanda were now shocked to see her smiling, actually smiling, especially when Daniel cracked his innocent jokes. Something softened inside her. Something she didn't understand. But she hid it well. Life had become strangely peaceful for Amanda. For the first time since childhood, she wasn't constantly angry. She wasn't constantly fighting. She wasn't constantly bracing herself for someone to attack her. It was as if the presence of Daniel, gentle, patient, soft-spoken, and clueless about how rough the world could be, forced her to become calmer. When he smiled, she found herself smiling back. When he laughed, she felt her heart flutter, a feeling she didn't understand. When he struggled to learn how to use a charcoal stove without almost burning his eyebrows off, she had to admit, his presence was slowly reshaping her world. The villagers noticed. "Troublemaker don't come oh," they whispered. "That stranger no correct charm. No so woman they behave when man they around." Amanda hissed at their comments, but deep down, she knew they were right. Something was different. Something had changed. And she didn't know whether to embrace it or run from it. Her peace didn't last long. One hot afternoon, the sun blazing like firewood smoke, a girl named Chisholm marched into Amanda's restaurant. Chisholm was the only person in the entire community who had enough stubbornness to challenge Amanda repeatedly. Jealous, loud, dramatic, she enjoyed provoking Amanda, hoping to one day see Amanda lose control again. She burst into the restaurant and slapped the counter. "Amanda. Come out, make we settle this thing today." The entire shop fell silent. Customers paused with spoonfuls of rice halfway to their mouths. Two old men shifted uncomfortably. A child dropped his meat pie. Daniel was standing at the back of the shop, frying plantain with the concentration of a surgeon. He froze, spatula in hand, watching cautiously. Amanda stepped out, wiping her hands on a cloth. "What is it, Chisholm? You think say because you get one fine stranger where they follow you up and down, you come they behave like you better pass us. You know they fear anybody for this village except me." Amanda inhaled deeply. She heard Daniel's voice in her mind. "You don't have to fight everyone, Amanda." For the first time in her life, she chose silence. "I no get your time today," she said quietly, turning back towards the kitchen. Gasps filled the shop. Chisholm's eyes widened. "Huh? What an insult." Amanda. Ignoring her. She stormed forward and grabbed Amanda's wrapper aggressively, yanking her backward. "You dey craze?" Amanda asked, surprised but trying to stay calm. Chisholm pushed harder, desperate to provoke her. "You think say you don't turn good girl because one city boy dey chop your rice? You be a showo." The insult sliced the air like a machete. Daniel dropped the spatula instantly. "Amanda, breathe," he said calmly, stepping closer. Amanda clenched her fists. Her heart hammered. Her lips trembled. Her entire body begged her to retaliate. But she remembered the lessons Daniel had taught her, the difference between strength and recklessness, dignity and impulse. So she stepped back, refusing to fight. Chisholm sneered. "Coward." Then she lifted her hand to slap Amanda across the face. But her hand never landed. Instead, her elbow accidentally struck Daniel in the side of the head as he moved to shield Amanda. Thud. Daniel staggered, dazed. His eyes widened. Then they rolled back. He collapsed onto the dusty floor. Amanda screamed so loudly the birds scattered from nearby trees. Daniel. She dropped to her knees, shaking him. He didn't move. Amanda, bring water, someone shouted. Hands trembling violently, Amanda rushed to fetch a bowl of water and sprinkled it on his face. Daniel, wake up. I beg, no do me this thing, she cried, her voice shaking with fear. And then. He gasped. His eyes opened, but not with the confusion she was used to. He blinked rapidly, scanning the room. Amanda. She froze. He hadn't said her name that clearly since the accident. His gaze held recognition, sharp, focused, aware. I remember, he whispered. Remember what? Amanda breathed. He swallowed hard, placing a hand on his forehead. Everything. Silence wrapped the shop. Customers stared. Children hid behind their mothers. Amanda's chest rose and fell rapidly. What do you mean everything? She asked. Daniel sat up slowly, blinking at his surroundings like someone waking from a long dream. I remember who I am, he said. I remember my house, my job, my mother, being robbed, everything. Amanda felt something heavy plummet through her stomach. He remembered. He truly remembered. He was not a villager. He was not a helpless man. He was not someone she needed to teach or protect. He was a billionaire. A city man. Someone far above her world. Her throat tightened. Amanda, he said softly, studying her face. I know how I got here. And I need to go home. My mother must be losing her mind. The word struck her harder than any punch she had ever thrown. Of course he needed to go home. Of course he had a life far more important than this small village and her tiny restaurant. Okay, she whispered. Just one small word. But it felt like someone had placed a stone inside her chest. Daniel touched her hand gently. You've taken care of me more than anyone ever has, he said, eyes warm. I owe you my life. But gratitude wasn't what she wanted. She didn't even know what she wanted. Maybe she wanted him to stay. Maybe she wanted a little more time. Maybe she wanted to keep pretending their strange little world belonged to them alone. But the moment had passed. Reality had returned. And Daniel belonged somewhere far beyond Umuokoro. The villagers escorted him back to Town Road. He boarded a bus heading toward the city. Amanda stood and watched the bus drive away. She didn't cry. Not in front of them. But inside, her heart broke quietly, painfully, the kind of heartbreak that didn't scream, but ached like an old one reopening. Meanwhile, in Vineyard City, Daniel's mother was living inside a nightmare. Mrs. Clara Okafor had gone from police station to police station, from radio stations to newsrooms, begging anyone who would listen to announce her son's disappearance. Every breakfast turned cold. Every night she prayed fiercely. Every morning she woke up with swollen eyes. She had cried until her voice became hoarse. When Daniel finally walked through the gates of their mansion, she didn't believe her eyes at first. She ran before he could even open his arms. My son. My baby. My child. Daniel. She sobbed hysterically, holding onto him like someone afraid he might vanish again. Daniel hugged her back tightly. I'm home, Mom. I'm home. Servants rushed out. Neighbors screamed in excitement. The security guards wept. It was the reunion the whole neighborhood had prayed for. For the next few days, his mother pampered him excessively, home-cooked meals, medical checkups, abu massages, everything possible. Daniel allowed it. But he didn't pick up his phone to call Amanda. Not once. Not because he didn't care. But because the noise around him, the panic, the love, the overwhelm drowned him completely. He wanted to breathe again. To think clearly. To process everything. He told himself he would call her. Tomorrow. Then the next day. Then the next. But tomorrow kept shifting. Back in Umuokoro, Amanda felt Daniel's absence like a missing limb. Every morning, she would wake up and expect to hear him greeting her in that soft, Ajabota voice. Every afternoon, she found herself looking toward the door, waiting for him to walk in holding a bowl of tomatoes he crushed too softly. Every evening, she sat outside her house, staring at the path he used to sweep unnecessarily. But days became weeks. And there was no call. No message. No sign. The villagers teased her. Amanda. Where your city prince? He don't leave you behind, oh. Rich man no dey marry village fighter. No so you go dey smile anyhow that time. Amanda swallowed her pain silently. She didn't fight them. She didn't shout. She didn't throw punches. She simply kept quiet. That scared the villagers more than anything. Because a quiet Amanda was a sign that something was deeply wrong. Her mother noticed too. One night, as they sat outside under the moonlight, Amanda's mother placed a gentle hand on her back. Tell me wetin dey worry you. Amanda shook her head. I dey fine. You know dey fine, her mother said softly. You dey miss am. The words broke Amanda's fragile wall. Her eyes filled with tears she had been fighting for weeks. I don't know why they pay me like this, she whispered. He is rich. I am nothing. Why a go thinks a person like him fit remember me? Her mother brushed her tears gently. You be something, Amanda. You just no know yet. After weeks of medical tests and constant monitoring, Daniel finally felt like himself again. One morning, while staring out his balcony, his mind drifted back to Umuokoro. To the dusty roads. To the sound of laughter from the restaurant. To Amanda's stubbornness. Her angry face. Her hidden softness. He smiled unconsciously. He missed her. He missed her more than he expected. He grabbed his phone and paused. Would she even want to hear from him? Would she be angry he never reached out? He decided not to call. He decided to go in person. The villagers froze when Daniel's car rolled into town. Amanda was in the shop, cleaning fish, trying to distract her thoughts, when a familiar voice murmured. Amanda. She stiffened. Her hands stopped moving. She turned slowly. There he was. Standing at the doorway. Alive. Healthy. Clean. Smiling softly. In that moment, her heart raced faster than it ever had during a fight. Daniel, she whispered. He stepped forward and pulled her into a tight, desperate hug. I'm sorry, he murmured against her ear. I'm so sorry I didn't come earlier. Amanda closed her eyes. I thought you forget me, she whispered, her voice cracking. Forget you. He pulled back and looked into her eyes. Amanda. I can never forget you. You took care of me when I had nothing. My mother wanted me home to recover, that's why I stayed long. But what matters is, I'm here now. The villagers watched from outside, whispering loudly like a chorus of gossiping parrots. Amanda didn't care. For once, she allowed herself to feel something that wasn't anger or fear. Something warm. Something terrifying. Something beautiful. Daniel's return did something to Amanda. The moment he hugged her, something long buried inside her woke up, something soft, fragile, warm, and unfamiliar. She didn't dare name it. Not yet. He stayed with her in the shop for hours that day, helping her prepare rice, pounding yam awkwardly, and telling stories about how his mother practically locked him inside the house for 2 weeks. Amanda didn't laugh much, but her eyes softened. Your mother really loves you, she said quietly. She loves me too much, he replied with a smile. Sometimes she forgets that I'm a man, not her little boy. Amanda stirred a pot of soup, avoiding his gaze. No good thing. Some mothers no get strength to love. Daniel looked at her for a long moment, understanding the hidden pain in her words. He reached out gently. Amanda, you deserve love. Real love. Not the one that hurts. The spoon trembled slightly in her hand. But she didn't respond. Not yet. Over the next few days, Daniel visited Amanda constantly. Sometimes he came with fruits, sometimes bread, sometimes wine, sometimes nothing but his presence. Every time, her heart betrayed her. She tried to hide it. She insulted him occasionally. She called him Ajibota just to annoy him. But the truth was clear. Amanda was changing. One cool morning, Daniel finally said the words she didn't expect. "Amanda, come with me to town." Her eyes widened. "For what?" "To show you something. I know they follow rich people up and down." "Oh," she muttered. He laughed softly. "You think I'm rich? You dey wear originality from head to toe. Your skin be like person wey dem cook with milk. You dey talk gently. Abeg, I know your type." Daniel only smiled. "You're coming?" Against her better judgment, and despite the butterflies attacking her ribcage, Amanda followed him. When they reached the city, her mouth fell open. Tall buildings. Bright lights. Beautiful streets. Cars that looked like spaceships. She clung to her seat like a child. "Daniel," she whispered. "This place fine, oh." He stared at her with the kind of smile that belongs to someone falling in love. The first place he took her was a boutique. Amanda refused to enter. "Oh. This place expensive. If I touch anything, them go charge me money for airway I breathe." Daniel laughed until tears formed in his eyes. "You're not paying," he told her. "Just choose." He bought her dresses, soft fabrics she had never touched before. Shoes that made her walk awkwardly. Hairs that made her look like a different person. When she stepped out of the changing room wearing a simple red gown, Daniel froze. Not because of the dress, but because he saw the woman behind the armor, a woman beautiful in ways she didn't even know. Amanda looked down shyly. "E be like say I no fit wear this kind cloth." "You look perfect," Daniel said quietly. Her cheeks warmed. Nobody had ever called her beautiful. Not once. Daniel took her to a modern apartment he had secretly rented for her. But he didn't tell her yet. First, he wanted to ease her into the idea of leaving the trenches. "Amanda," he said, opening the door for her. "Come in." She stepped inside and froze. The room looked like a dream: clean walls, soft bed, wardrobe, a small living room. Everything smelled of newness. "Daniel, this place no hotel." "No," he smiled. "It's yours." Her eyes widened so much he almost laughed. "Mine." "As how?" "I rented it." "For you?" She shook her head immediately. "No, oh. I no fit live here. People go laugh me. They go say I dey follow man because of money." Daniel stepped closer, speaking gently. "Amanda, you have spent your whole life fighting for scraps. Let someone fight for you for once." Her throat tightened. "I no deserve all this." "Yes," he said with quiet conviction, "you do." He didn't kiss her. He didn't confess love. He simply placed his hand on her shoulder. Sometimes love doesn't arrive loudly. Sometimes it arrives in gestures. After weeks of spending time together, Daniel finally said, "Amanda, my mom wants to meet you." Her eyes widened as if someone slapped her. "Me? Meet billionaire mama? Oh. She go use I pursue me." He laughed. "You don't know my mother. She'll love you." Amanda doubted it. But she agreed. When they arrived at Daniel's mansion, Amanda felt as if she had walked into heaven. The house was huge, the floors shiny, the flowers too pretty to touch. When Mrs. Clara Okafor walked in, Amanda almost hid behind Daniel. But instead of judging her, Clara hugged her. "My son talked about you," she said warmly. "You saved his life." Amanda shook her head quickly. "I no save am oh. Nomi even beat am first." Everyone laughed, even the guards. Clara held Amanda's face gently. "You are welcome here. Thank you for protecting my son." Amanda blinked rapidly, confused. No elder had ever spoken to her that softly. Mrs. Okofor turned to Daniel with a knowing smile. You've brought home a special girl. Daniel wanted to hide his blush. Amanda didn't notice. While Amanda grew more comfortable in the city, Daniel worked on something quietly. Something big. Something life-changing. He met with architects. He bought land. He remodeled a building. All without telling her. Every night, he sat in his office reviewing designs, choosing kitchen equipment, selecting furniture. His mother peeped through the door sometimes and teased. You're working harder than usual. Is it because of that girl? He didn't deny it. Instead, he smiled at his mother. I want to give her something that proves she's worth more than her past. Clara touched her son's cheek lovingly. Then do it. She deserves it. One bright afternoon, Daniel invited Amanda out. Wear something nice, he told her. Why? She frowned. We are attending a restaurant opening. Amanda nodded. She loved food talk. When they arrived, she noticed the crowd. People were smiling, taking pictures, clapping. Then she noticed the large signboard. Her heart skipped. Then stopped. Then raced wildly. Daniel, what is this? She whispered. A restaurant, he smiled. For who? For you. Her hands began shaking. Me. Restaurant. In this big town. Daniel nodded, his voice soft and steady. You deserve a place where your talent can shine. You deserve a future bigger than fighting in the village. You deserve a life filled with possibilities. Amanda covered her mouth with both hands. Tears poured out before she could stop them. Daniel, why you they do all this for me? Because, he whispered, stepping closer, I love you. Her breath caught. I love you, Amanda. Helplessly. Completely. Fiercely. The world around them seemed to disappear. He took her hands gently. I've been waiting for the right time to say it. You showed me strength. You showed me loyalty. You showed me kindness buried under pain. You're not a troublemaker. You are a fighter, and I love the way you fight. Amanda's tears flowed uncontrollably. Nobody had ever held her like this. Nobody had ever seen beyond her anger. Nobody had ever chosen her. Yes, she whispered. Daniel. I go be your girlfriend. I love you too. The crowd cheered. Mrs. Okofor and Amanda's mother nodded proudly from the doorway. And Daniel pulled Amanda into a warm embrace. A girl who once fought the world had finally found someone who fought for. Life changed after that. She now lived in the city with her mother. Amanda became the proud owner of a thriving restaurant. She learned how to manage staff. She learned how to dress confidently. She learned how to speak softly without losing her strength. She still had her fire, but Daniel taught her how to direct it. She still had her stubbornness, but now it came with wisdom. Months later, she returned to her old community. Children ran to her. Women hugged her. Men waved respectfully. Nobody called her troublemaker. They called her Madam Amanda. She built a borehole for the village. Supplied food to widows. Paid school fees for poor children. Helped young girls learn cooking skills. She gave back the way she wished someone had helped her mother. She became a symbol of hope, a reminder that people could change, that pain could turn into purpose, that strength didn't always have to roar. And when she went back to her shop at the end of the day, Daniel was always there, waiting with a warm smile and open arms. One evening, under the soft glow of city lights, Daniel held Amanda's hand as they walked home. Amanda, he said quietly. Yes. You know this is only the beginning, right? She smiled softly. I know. He squeezed her fingers gently. And I'm glad it's with you. Amanda looked up at him, her heart full. Me too, Daniel. Me too. She had come a long way from the girl who fought everyone. Now, she fought for love. For growth. For her future. For her community. And she had someone by her side, someone who believed in her before she believed in herself. The girl who once believed anger was her only strength had found a new kind of power. Love. Stability. Purpose. Peace. And most importantly, she had found herself. Please subscribe, like and comment for more.